Welcome back to the Playoff Push, your go-to for everything high school sports as we head into the postseason.
And today's episode is a big one. We're sitting down with two of the biggest stars on the team, no pun intended, as we head into the playoffs. They've dominated all season and are both committed to play college lacrosse next year.
Let's give it up for Colton Pawlak and Ethan Hough. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Good to be here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you.
You guys are coming off a great regular season. What's the mindset of the team right now heading into the playoffs?
I think just trying to kind of keep it going. We kind of hit a couple rough patches throughout the season, just kind of up and downs. But I think as we kind of ended it, I think we've been at a constant up. So I think just kind of keeping that going is going to be huge, keeping the confidence up.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
Yeah, you guys are going off a 4-game winning streak coming into the playoffs. All like pretty good wins, I would say, good conference wins. I know you guys didn't win conference championship this year for the first time in 3 years.
Yep.
So how did that feel to not make it forward?
Doesn't feel good. I wish we could be perfect this year, but like you said, I think especially those last 2 conference games, I feel really good about beating Lakewood, who's a solid team, and Erie, another pretty good team. So that makes me feel really good going into the postseason.
Yeah, like Ethan said, obviously it's disappointing, especially because the 2 games that kind of lost it for us, we as a team know we definitely could have won those games. But hopefully looking forward in the back bracket, we'll be able to get a little payback on one of them.
Yeah, you guys' first game is Heritage. What's like the scouting and like what's the thought of that team so far?
I think a lot of it's just confidence as a team. I think we all agree as a team that if we just play our game really well, we can compete and make any game a game, win anything.
And I feel like that's a huge part that goes kind of not talked about is the mental aspect.
For sure.
Going into your first round playoff game, you got to be dialed mentally almost equally as physically. But
Not trying to look too forwards, but if you guys beat Heritage, you guys play Ralston, which has a bye. That's a conference game right there. You know, sometimes have some good games there, a little rivalry. What do you guys think about heading into that game if you guys win Heritage? I'm
super excited. I think that's a team that we can definitely beat. Kind of took a tough loss too in the regular season, but I'm excited for the opportunity to play them again.
Yeah, I think kind of getting a second shot at them. I think kind of knowing, especially getting some of those injuries back that we were dealing with at the time, I think we can go in a lot more confident and able to win that game.
Nice.
And during your guys' regular season, were there any games that felt like a statement for either of you individually or as a team?
I would say Lakewood for sure. I think myself, I feel really confident about the way I played, but as a team, I thought it was a really good team, and I think we won that game by 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think Fairview was another pretty big statement one. It was our first road win of the season, opened up conference play on a positive note, and I think it really just showed like how we can play when we're playing our best lacrosse and what we're capable of.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys both play big roles on the offensive side of the ball. What is your guys' like mindset going into games?
I think just trying not to do too much, make sure everybody's doing their part, keeping everybody accountable, including yourself, I think is always big, and just kind of flushing the little mistakes, like not getting in your head too much.
You guys have any weird like superstitions on game day?
I don't. I
think
wear the
so,
same
no.
2 shirts. I wear the same shirt for home games, same shirt for away games.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Stretch
Okay.
routine. I always stay on the same part of the line when we're doing pregame stretches. But other than that, I don't think there's anything too big.
Nothing too weird.
No.
No dirty underwear,
No.
socks.
No,
None of that.
No, none of that stuff.
Yeah. So you guys do like music in the locker room? Like, how does that look?
Yeah, we got a guy that usually he brings his own speaker. We usually
Yeah.
get that going. I'm one to kind of have my own music in on my own and my own headphones.
Yeah.
As we get closer, I'll usually take them off, kind of get with everybody else. But yeah, no, everybody's usually pretty good at staying locked in.
Nice. What's like the song of choice?
Oof.
For me, I wouldn't say a specific song. I like a lot of Drake, a little bit of Kanye before my games.
Yeah, that's exactly
I'm
what I
not-
was going for.
I'm not huge into like a bunch of like super hard rap before I play.
Okay.
I'm not super pumped up. I like to get my
Yeah.
mind in a good state before I
Yeah,
play.
nice.
So
Kind of just some upbeat stuff that, like Ethan said, not going to get you too
Too
crazy
wild
in the mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to stay calm.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I played football, I would listen to like softer music sometimes, just to, like get like mentally there, just like calm
Yeah.
yourself, especially big games. But then like I think sometimes I would just want to listen to that like gangster rap, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you're feeling. Like I feel like
Yeah.
some days you need a little bit more going for you, but others you're kind of already in that state, so you don't quite need as much to get you going.
And in the playoffs too, you want to get mentally dialed.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, playoffs especially. There's so much already, like based on the game, kind of keeping you up that ideally you shouldn't really need a whole lot else to get going.
You guys do like any energy drinks? I feel like you always have a Red Bull with you.
Yeah, I'm a
Like
Red
a
Bull
can
guy.
of
I'm a Red Bull guy. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
What do you?
I don't do any energy drinks, anything like that. I drink a lot of water. I'll do electrolytes sometimes
Okay.
for
Yeah.
games, but I always eat right before I leave the house a little bit.
Nice.
Nothing crazy though. I've tried energy drinks. I don't love it.
Yeah.
It makes my stomach feel weird, and
Oh yeah.
I just
This season hasn't been quite as heavy on it.
No.
I've been more like Ethan, kind of trying
Yeah.
to stick to electrolytes, stay hydrated, get the body feeling a little better throughout the day.
So talk to us about like the team's chemistry. What makes like you guys special on the field, and like what makes it really click for you guys?
I think a lot of offensively, at least, I think it's 4 or 5 seniors on the field at a time, so that always makes it really easy. And then I think we're all pretty close as a team. I think that's definitely a benefit. We hang out a lot off the field, and I think we all trust each other, especially at this point in the season. I think that's why we played so well the last 2 or 3 weeks, is because we just have bonded together.
I think part of it too is a lot of these guys have been playing together since we first started. Like I can name probably 6 or 7 guys on the team that I've been playing with since I very first started in, I think, first grade.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of realizing it's kind of last ride with these guys, I think is even a little extra motivation for each other. It kind of helps out.
Nice.
Kind of changing gears here. Obviously, you two are kind of in the spotlight in terms of stats and just general knowledge from people and fans. Is there anybody who would you consider like underrated or who wouldn't get noticed by fans or scouts that is a dog on the field?
I think a lot of those guys are kind of our younger guys because we're pretty senior heavy this year. I think it's 14
seniors,
something like that. So I think kind of as we're getting towards the end of the regular season, or as we're finishing it, I think a lot of those younger guys are finally kind of getting their roles and kind of realizing what they need to do, play their part for everybody else around them to succeed.
Yeah.
So I think as much as scouting, only a few guys stick out kind of specifically, I think a lot more guys play a bigger role than other teams or people might think.
Yeah.
I would definitely have to say I think Taggart Dixon is one of those. He's a guy who doesn't put up a bunch of stats, but like when we watch films, every games and stuff, he makes really good decisions. Barrett Green too. I think Barrett's been really good this year.
Nice.
Guys are just they've been good about stepping into roles, like knowing that like scout might be on other people. They've been really good about kind of getting themselves going, making sure that they're making that impact that they need to do.
Yeah. So who's got like the biggest energy on the team? Like who's in there like getting everyone together before games, or like practices a little dull? Who's like yelling,
Mingus likes to pop in there. Gavin Mingus, he likes to get in there quite a bit. I think he's up there.
That big yell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He's as a senior captain, he's definitely, I think, kind of taken himself into that role, accepted what he needs to do. I think he's been pretty good at that this year.
Yeah, I definitely say Gavin Mingus. I think Barrett, a couple times Barrett's been pretty enthusiastic.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the word you could use.
Yeah.
but
Barrett's got a big
he gets
mouth.
something.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he's
oh,
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He uses some choice language sometimes, but
Yeah.
It's going.
it gets it going. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily what he's saying. It's just how he's saying it. I think kind of is pretty good at.
Yeah. Do you guys think you have like a good bench presence in the game? Like the bench just getting up there?
I think
and
the
hype?
last couple weeks it's been really, really important. I think it's what's kind of led to those important wins earlier in the season. Bench has kind of been dull. Like we'll score and a couple people like yell a little bit, but I think the last couple weeks, like not even just goals, just like when we're on defense and we get a big defensive stop, when Eli makes a save. I think the bench has been really good at getting that energy, keeping everybody on the field in it.
Sweet.
What are you guys most looking forward to in college, both on and off the field?
I'm most looking forward to just playing at a high level, winning championships and just competing, getting better. Off the field, I'm excited to, just meet new people, and I'm going to school in Grand Junction, so I'm sure I'll find some pretty fun stuff to do.
For people that don't know, can you guys say where you're committed to, where it's at,
I'm going to University of Denver.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to Colorado Mesa in Grand Junction.
Yeah, so what does that look for you guys? Is there quite a bit of people ahead of you when you get in there? Or do you think it's going to be like you're going to be playing or getting minutes right away?
I think, I don't know, it's kind of hard to speak for it just because you don't really know what role they're necessarily going to try and put you into. Obviously, I guess really all you can do is kind of put yourself out there, kind of take whatever opportunity you can get, whether it's a position you're used to playing or not.
Nice. Does DU play like a lot of freshmen?
Depend
on the year.
Kind of depends on the year. Right now, they're very young. 34 of their 50 guys are freshmen or sophomores.
Oh, wow.
So they have a pretty young group. They had quite a few underclassmen playing this year. So I'm not sure what that'll look like for the future, especially for the next couple classes coming in. But
yeah, and they're just coming off an off year from going to the Final Four, right? And they didn't even make the playoffs this year, so it's kind of rebuilding.
Yeah. Like I said, I think that young group, making sure everybody almost where we were at, like we were saying earlier, those guys kind of realizing what their role is, stepping in, kind of building that chemistry early on. Yeah. Makes a big next couple of years, hopefully.
How about you, E?
I don't know. Kind of with Colton, I'm not sure what kind of role I'm going to be in, but I don't know what to expect, really. I know they had a really good group of seniors this year. I think 13 juniors, so yeah. So I don't know, though. My class is pretty big, so maybe they're looking for some of us to step up, but I mean, it's a really good group, so. Yeah.
Nice. And you're going to have some familiar faces over there when you get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple guys.
Yeah, well, Hunter Jesse, played with him last year. He was on the Stars team. Luke Chastain, he'll be a junior next year.
Nice.
Yeah, a couple, buddy from Windsor, Hayden, he's going to be there. So.
Grant Shackett still playing?
Grant Shackett, a couple guys.
Will he be a senior next year?
He will, yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Sure. Are you guys is there hazing? I know DU, it's more of a top tier program, so it might not have that. It's more like business there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of just talking to at least the freshmen now, because I got a couple buddies on that team. From what they say, there's really not a whole lot of hazing necessarily. There might be a couple little oh, you're a freshman, you have kind of these priorities that a lot of upperclass might not have, but from what they've made it seem is you're welcomed in pretty quickly into the family.
Okay, nice. How about you?
I think, not totally sure yet. I believe there may be some here and there, but I don't really know yet.
Nice.
Not sure what to expect.
Just going in a little blind.
Yeah, exactly.
Only one way to find out.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find out pretty quick.
Without revealing too much, what's your guys' game plan going into the playoffs? Can you give us kind of an inside scoop on?
I don't know if there's necessarily, at least for this first game, I don't know if there's necessarily a specific game plan. I think kind of just making plays playing our game of lacrosse at the highest level we can. I don't know about the defensive side if we're looking to stop anybody on their team specifically, but I think at least offensively, just running through our stuff as quickly and accurately as possible is what's going to really help us this year.
Just playing your game.
Exactly, yeah.
You guys going to emphasize anything different this year compared to the past three?
I don't know if we're really looking at anything specific.
I feel like for game one, for sure, I know Heritage's biggest strength is having the ball, possessing the ball. I think
for sure.
they have a decent face-off guy, so I think especially in the first half of the game, we're going to have to focus on making good decisions.
Yeah.
Taking good shots, but just playing our game. I really don't think there's a team we're going to see in the next week that it's going to compete with us if we play our game. So
I know you guys said it's your last hurrah, but I've heard rumors that it might be your coach's Cantwell last hurrah too. So what is that what's that mindset there?
I think we're trying kind of not to. Obviously, for us, I don't think we've thought about it a whole lot, just because it's not going to affect us quite as much, kind of in the future. But just having talks with Coach Cantwell and myself, I think also him just wanting it as badly as I think us is kind of going to be a big aspect. Not as much of a okay, let's move on to next year. I think him also kind of realizing like, hey, this is the last time we'll get to do this.
Yeah. So what, I guess like you guys haven't really talked or thought about it as much, but what has like the underclassmen that like have loved Cantwell through all 3 years or like 2 years, and are just like starting to get used to him, and then they have to switch it up?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a tough situation. I think we have a little bit of insight on what the coaching staff could look like next year. In my opinion, I think it's something that most people would be really comfortable with. So
Okay.
if I were them, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Obviously, it's an adjustment, no
Right,
doubt
yeah.
about that. But I think they'll figure it out.
Nice thing with those underclassmen is that I don't think our scheme will change at all. I think they'll be able to kind of step into roles that they kind of already know they're going to have to, whether Cantwell's there or not. So I think it'll be different, kind of feel like while being on the field. But I think, like Ethan said, I think everybody will be pretty happy and comfortable with the change.
Nice. All right, so going into like some lighter questions here. So what's like the favorite away game stadium? I know you guys have traveled to San Diego, or not San Diego, it was more LA area
yeah.
this year. What was like your favorite away stadium?
Oh, probably. I would have to say Santa Margarita. I think it's in the northern San Diego area. But that was a super cool game. It's like kind of in the foothills there. I think the sun was setting. That was super cool. And also, what's the one Ralston Stadium? What's theirs called?
Oh, the Knack.
The Knack.
Yeah,
I think the
grass.
Knack. Yeah, I think the Knack's a really cool place to play too.
My favorites probably. So our sophomore year was the first year we went to California. We were in San Diego area. We played, I want to say it was La Jolla was the school.
Yeah.
But the field is almost kind of like on the side of the mountain. But then you'd look off like the mountain and you just could see like the ocean. Just the view from it was honestly, it was just awesome. It was really cool.
Cool. Patrick Henry was really cool.
That one was cool. Yeah.
With like the mist
Yep.
coming in.
That
was really
Yeah,
cool.
I
Sweet.
remember the pictures from that game. Ended up pretty cool. It was almost like kind of like foggy almost.
How about the hardest defender you guys have ever faced?
I would definitely say mine was a kid named Ian Carner. He's a freshman this year playing at Jacksonville.
Really?
I know he's a
college,
freshman in
yeah,
college
yeah.
at Jacksonville. He was a good kid, big, tall, long kid. He was hard to beat. He's definitely my first matchup.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one. Trying to think. It was a kid from Creek a couple years ago. That was definitely probably the best I've seen.
Okay.
I got a couple matchups against Ian Connor last year.
Yeah.
And definitely with Ethan. He's a tough guy to get around.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, so what's one word to describe like the team's identity going into the playoffs?
Oof.
Maybe
It's hard to put that into one word.
Yeah.
maybe like something like family. I know that's super important to us. Coach
Yeah.
Cantwell touches on that a lot, but I think that more than anything.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Kind of combines a lot of other things into one word.
Yeah. Speaking of family, I know you guys do like a lot of team bonding stuff, like team dinners and then playoff cuts. Are you guys doing that this year?
Oh
Playoff
yeah,
cuts?
got that planned tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
tonight.
oh yeah, tonight.
Finally, seniors, you guys
Yep.
cut everyone else's hair.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So we've been
Yeah.
scheming. We've been
Yeah, you've been
scheming.
scheming.
Oh yeah, we got
Yeah.
some good ones coming
Who
up.
are the victims you have in mind?
Jonas, what's his last name? Carpio.
I don't know. It's something hard to pronounce.
Jonas is
Jonas, that,
he's in for a good
what's
time.
the cut looking like for him?
Ooh, I don't know. I think we were thinking a little bowl cut, and then
Okay.
we kind of almost cut like the top of it too, but then leave a little bit in the center for like a little ponytail.
Okay.
So it's almost like you got a little ponytail in the middle. You got a shaved like circle, and then a next little bit
That's
on the
brutal.
side, plus a little bleach.
Yeah. I know. Also, like on a family note, what's like a good post game meal you guys do?
Canes.
together.
I would say
Canes,
Canes
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, we hit up Canes after a lot of home games.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I think that's the one. That's usually the place we can get the most guys to go to. So we got a picture from last week of there's probably 20 guys that went.
At least,
There's
yeah.
probably 20 guys or so that went.
Yeah, that's good though. All go into something that's more optional.
Yeah,
Not a thing, but just like a family thing.
exactly. Kind of get away from the field a little more. More just go as friends rather than teammates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys for coming on. Obviously, we couldn't do it without you. But we will talk with you guys next week when we know more about the future in your playoff appearance.
Sounds good. Thanks for
Sounds
having
good.
us.
Yeah, thank you.
And to everyone listening, get out there, support your Stars, and the team's got everything special. Got something special, and you won't want to miss.
Catch you guys next time on Playoff Push.
See you, boys.